In this video, we're going to be working on update user route. This route basically updates the info object in our user model with what the user put on the client side. First of all, start by creating an updateUserInfoRoute.js file. This will handle all the requests on updating our user info object. So first of all, start by importing JWT from JSON Web Token module, which is used for encoding and decoding JSON Web Tokens. And import object ID, but this is not necessary because that's local MongoDB and we're using MongoDB Compass. So we'll define our exported function, update user profile, normally specify the path, method, and the handler. So the path is going to use a route parameter, which is user ID. The method is going to be put, which sometimes is called update. Then the handler will take an async arrow function to request and response variable argument. Create a destructured authorization to pick it from request from .headers. And also we'll create a user ID, destructure the user ID parameter from the request object. Then we'll define an object update with the keys favorite, city, profession, and bio, just as in our model, and assign it to the results of a self-invoking function that will take a request.body as its argument. What we'll be doing here is taking what the user inputs in the client side and updating our info object in the user model based on the user's ID. So this is going to be a self-invoking function, like I said earlier. If not authorization, it should return a response.status 401 with a message, no authorization. Checks if the authorization header is not present and returns an error if it's missing. So we'll create a token variable. We'll now split the authorization by the space character and assign the second part, which is the actual token, to a variable named token. Yes. So we'll now verify the JWT secret. We'll verify the token. We put in the JWT secret and variable and decode the payload. If there's an error, it returns an error response. If the decoded token's ID field doesn't match the user ID parameter from the request, we're going to return a 403 error response. The decoded token is valid field is false also, we'll return a 403 response. So that will be unable to verify token. Then we'll create another variable, it's a structured variable. Cost ID is verified, cost to decoded. Yes. Then if ID is not equal to user ID, we'll return an error 403 response. Not allowed to update profile. Yes. So move on to the next line and try to create another condition. If it's not verified, it's either two things, either verified with true or false, a Boolean value. You need to verify your email address. So we'll do the email authentication, furthermore in the course. Yes. Can't update your profile without verifying your email. So another trick we need to do, I noticed that I made a mistake. The info variable, the info object is not reflecting database because it's not defining the model. So let's fix that. So I'll just copy the email, paste, and change the type to an object. Yes. Then we'll head over to our Postman to make a test request so that we'll see if the info object is being inserted into the user details. Okay, so create a props. I'm going to save this request as login to my auth folder. Then I create a new user, adding to yes, it generated a token. I refresh it. This is the last user, but the info is not still there. So, oh, okay, I forgot to save the pages. Okay, we'll allow this CLI to connect to the remote server. And that's going to be connected in a bit. Yes, server connected successfully. We'll come and create another dummy account. We'll check. Yes, it's now having the info object, favorite city, profession, bio. So we're going to delete all other redundant data so that we know what we're focusing on our database. Yes, everything's working nice. That being done, let's move to the next step. Head back to our document and import the user model. Now, this result variable is going to do a DB search. Updates the user information by calling the find one and update method on the user model with the user's ID. The updates object and an option to return the updated document instead of the original one. Yes. So set our info object to the update. That's what the user provided from the client side. Return original false. This is a keyword. You can check it up in Mongoose. So basically, it's giving me an error. Okay, yeah, fix that. Okay, I think I didn't format my code well. Yes, I'm supposed to delete one of these brackets. Then we'll move on to the next step. Const email is verified info. We're going to create a new JWT token very soon. So it's giving me an error. What's the issue? Okay, I think I defined it's verified twice. I'll come back to that soon. So we'll sign a new token with the user's ID, email is verified and info field as payload, and return it as a JSON response. The token is signed with the JWT secret and variable, and we'll set it to expire in 3 days. And our callback function will take an error and a token argument. If there's an error, we will return a status HTTP status code 200 with a message. If error, we'll return rest to status 200.json to return the error. Rest the status. Oh, okay. No, I'm supposed to put this on the next line outside the return. Return response of status, and we'll set the token as the response. Format your document, get rid of the second is verified variable.